Hello, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make zucchini muffins with chocolate chips. We're first going to start off by preheating our oven to 350 so that by the time we're done mixing all of our ingredients together, the oven will be ready for the batter to go in. So we're going to go over to our oven and I want you to press the bake button and then push the arrow up until the number reaches 350. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so now the oven is ready. Well, it's getting ready. And now I'm going to tell you some of the tools, equipment, and ingredients that we're going to be using. So you're going to need measuring cups, such as teaspoons, tablespoons, and all the cup sizes. You will also need a type of pan to put your batter into. We're going to be using mini muffin pans. Olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, anything you need to use to prevent the batter from sticking in the pan. You will also need bowls of various sizes, such as this bowl, which will be our mixing bowl. We'll put all our ingredients in this, as well as other bowls for the other ingredients to go into, such as this bowl for the zucchini. You will also need a standing mixer or any other type of electrical mixer. So, I'm next going to go into all the ingredients we're going to be using for this. So we're going to start off with a cup of flour, which we have here, 3/4 cup white sugar, here, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. It's really tiny, so we have to be careful. And 1 egg, which you're going to put in a bowl and then whisk with a fork until the yolk dissipates. Yeah. So just whisk it with your fork, and then it should look similar to this kind of texture. Okay. And then next we have a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, which I have in this bowl here, as well as a 1/4 cup of milk, as in this bowl here, a teaspoon of vanilla. Have to be careful because it's in one of these tiny things right here. Okay, you're going to measure out a cup of zucchini. So we're going to shred the zucchini using this shredder here. And before I start that, I'm just going to tell you the last ingredient we're using, which is a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. So I'm just going to take my zucchini and using the second most largest side, I'm going to just run the zucchini along the grate until it is completely shredded down. And I want you to use an entire zucchini, making sure to cut the ends off because we do not want to use that part. And this task is actually quite quick and many people enjoy it. So we're just going to keep shredding our zucchini down. And as you can see, it's going very fast. We're almost completely done here. So just keep shredding your zucchini, and just make sure when you get really low on the zucchini that you're being very careful not to cut any of your fingers or knuckles or anything on the grate because it is very sharp, and you just want to make sure you're being safe and not getting any skin or anything in the food. That's gross. So just just continuing to shred this down. Okay. I think that should be good. And then you just want to kind of bang the grate off so you get all the zucchini. Okay. And now that is done, I'm going to put the grate in my sink to be washed later. Okay. So we're going to go ingredient by ingredient, putting it all in this big bowl, and then we're going to go put it in the standing mixer we have so we can get this batter ready. So we're going to start with the flour, and you're just going to pour your 1.5 cup of flour, if you don't have it measured out already, into your big bowl. So I'm just going to pour this in here, tap it out to make sure I got everything, and then set this bowl into the sink, as I'm going to do with the rest of the bowls we have here. So next I'm going to add the white sugar, which, if you don't have it measured already, is a 3/4 of a cup. So I'm just going to pour this in here, right on top, and tap everything to make sure it's all in there. Next is a teaspoon of baking soda. And a teaspoon of cinnamon. Which, if you like the flavor of cinnamon, you may add more, depending on how strong you want that flavor to be. Taking into account that cinnamon is a very strong ingredient. Then next, you're going to take your 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt and just flip that in there. And your egg, and maybe just give it another stir, just to make sure everything is kind of evenly distributed in there and that the yolk is completely broken. And then just pour this right on in. And just a little tip, just make sure that if you do crack an egg that you wash your hands after, because you don't want to get any salmonella or anything on any of the other ingredients. Okay, next we're going to take the 1/2 cup vegetable oil and pour this in. And 1/4 of a cup of milk. Your teaspoon of vanilla, being very careful with it, not to spill anywhere else. Your cup of zucchini, or more if you would like. And just make sure you get all of it in there. And then, if you would like, this part is optional, you may add a 1/2 of a cup of chocolate chips we have here. So I'm just gonna dump this right in. And now we are ready to get mixing. So I'm gonna take this bowl over to the mixer and bring you along with me. So here we have our mixer, and I'm going to start using the dial on the side, turning it to 1. Just to slowly begin to mix all the ingredients together. And then, as they're mixing, I'm going to turn it up to 2, just to speed the process up slightly. And make sure to get everything thoroughly mixed together. So now that the batter is done, and you made sure that all your ingredients are mixed together well, you are going to take your spray, and you're going to take your pan, and you're going to spray each circle just to make sure that nothing is going to stick to the pan so that your muffins don't rip when you're trying to pull them out. So now I'm going to take my little spoon here and I'm going to evenly distribute the batter in each cup. Making sure not to overfill them because they will slightly rise when in the oven. Now that all your muffins are measured out and they're ready to go in the oven, you are going to take an oven mitt and just slide them right in. So open your oven and put them right in, making sure to be very careful because it is going to be very hot. Slide those in there and close your oven. So you're going to put them in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes and make sure just to check them regularly so you're keeping track of whether they are burning or just making sure that they're being cooked thoroughly. So I'm going to set my timer to 15 minutes. Okay, so now that the 15 minutes is up, we are going to check on the muffins using a toothpick like this. And you're just gonna stab them, and if any batter comes off onto this, then you know they're not done. So here we go. So using this, I'm just gonna stab them. And yep, we don't have any batter on there. So we're going to bring them out. So here's the finished product, and I'm just going to turn my oven off. And then you're just going to take these out of the pan onto a cooling sheet. I would say let them cool for about 30 minutes and then they should be ready to eat. I hope you enjoy this recipe and try it soon. Bye.